unstoppable. You will train yourself to act fast, to move decisively, and to create momentum before doubt has a chance to stop you. Every single person who has ever achieved anything great has had to force themselves to act. The first workout, the first business deal, the first cold call, the first speech, the first risk, they did not feel ready. They did not feel confident, but they moved anyway. And because they moved, they built confidence. Because they moved, they gained experience. Because they moved, they turned hesitation into momentum. If you want to take control of your life, you must take control of your actions. You must train yourself to break through hesitation, to overcome resistance, to act before your mind has a chance to talk you out of it. Because once you develop this skill, once you learn how to force yourself to take action, nothing will be out of reach. You will no longer be held back by doubt, fear, or laziness. You will be in control. And that is what we are going to break down. The practical step-by-step process to force yourself to take action, even when you do not feel like it. Because once you understand this, once you apply it, your life will never be the same. The first step to forcing yourself to take action is eliminating negotiation. Every day, people wake up and start bargaining with themselves. Should I get up now or sleep a little longer? Should I work on my goals or take the day off? Should I push forward or wait until I feel more ready? And that internal debate is exactly what kills momentum. Because every time you give yourself an option, you give yourself an excuse. Winners do not operate this way. They do not wake up and ask themselves if they should take action. They have already decided. They do not give their mind room to negotiate because they understand that the moment you start debating with yourself, the weaker side of your mind will always try to win. The side that wants to stay comfortable, stay safe, stay exactly where you are. If you want to take control of your actions, you must remove the debate. You must operate from a place of decision, not emotion. You must treat your commitments as non-negotiable. If you say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., there is no debate. If you say you are going to the gym, there is no discussion. If you say you are working on your business today, there is no room for hesitation. It is already done. The problem is that most people let their feelings dictate their actions. If they do not feel like doing something, they hesitate. And the moment they hesitate, they start looking for reasons to delay. I'll do it later. I'll start tomorrow. I need more time. But winners do not wait until they feel like it. They take action regardless of how they feel, because they know that feelings are temporary, but results last forever. And here's the truth. Hesitation is the killer of dreams. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to move. The moment you allow your mind to second guess, you start slipping into inaction. That is why winners train themselves to act fast. They move before hesitation has a chance to creep in. They take action before doubt can stop them. Think about all the times you have wanted to do something but hesitated. Maybe you wanted to start a project, but you overthought it and never began. Maybe you wanted to speak up, but you waited too long, and the moment passed. Maybe you wanted to take a risk, but your mind convinced you it was too soon, and now you regret not taking the chance. That is what hesitation does. It kills momentum before it even starts. The way to break this cycle is to remove the space between thought and action. The moment you decide to do something, move immediately. Do not give your mind time to talk you out of it. Do not wait for the right conditions. Do not analyze whether or not you feel ready. Just move. The faster you act, the easier it becomes to build momentum. And here's something most people never realize. Action creates motivation. Most people think they need to feel motivated before they take action. But it is the opposite. You must take action first, and motivation will follow. Because the moment you start moving, your mind starts to shift. The resistance fades, the excuses disappear, and suddenly you are in motion. Think about working out. The hardest part is not the workout itself. It is starting. The hardest part is not writing the book. It is sitting down to write the first sentence. The hardest part is not making the call. It is picking up the phone. Once you take that first step, everything else becomes easier. This is why successful people do not rely on motivation. They do not wait for inspiration. They train themselves to act first, knowing that momentum will take care of the rest. Because once you start moving, it is easier to keep going. If you want to force yourself to take action, you must build the habit of immediate execution. The moment you set a goal, take action toward it immediately. Even if it is small, even if it is just one step. Because that one step will generate momentum. And once you have momentum, you become unstoppable. And here's a simple rule. Never leave the scene of a decision without taking action. If you decide to start a business, make the first call. If you decide to get in shape, do a set of push-ups. If you decide to wake up earlier, set your alarm and move it across the room. Take action immediately, because action is what turns an idea into reality. But here's the challenge. Most people will not do this. They will listen to this, agree with it, and then go back to their old patterns. Why? Because they are still giving themselves options. They are still negotiating with themselves. They are still waiting to feel like taking action instead of forcing themselves to take action. But winners do not wait. Winners do not hesitate. Winners decide and they move. And because of that, they achieve more in 1 year than most people do in a lifetime. So starting today, remove negotiation from your life. Do not ask yourself if you feel like it. Do not wait for the right time. Do not give yourself a choice. Because once taking action becomes non-negotiable, success becomes inevitable. The second step to forcing yourself to take action is shortening the gap between decision and movement. Every second you spend thinking, analyzing, or hesitating gives your mind more time to create doubt, fear, and excuses. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to act. This is why most people never follow through. They allow too much time to pass between making a decision and actually executing it. Winners understand that hesitation is the enemy. They know that every second of delay increases resistance. They know that once their mind starts questioning the decision, it becomes easier to rationalize doing nothing. This is why they train themselves to act immediately. They develop the habit of moving before their brain has a chance to stop them. Think about a rocket launching into space. The most energy is burned in the first few minutes, breaking through the resistance of Earth's gravity. But once it passes that barrier, momentum takes over. Action works the same way. The hardest part is not the work itself, it is overcoming the initial resistance. But once you start moving, things become easier. You build momentum, you create energy, and suddenly, taking action is no longer a struggle. Most people get stuck in overthinking. They analyze every possibility, waiting until they feel 100% ready before they move. But that moment never comes. There will always be a reason to wait. There will always be an uncertainty. There will always be fear. And if you let those things dictate your actions, you will never move forward. Winners do not wait for clarity before they act. They act first, and clarity follows. They do not wait until they know everything. They learn as they go. They do not wait until they feel confident. They build confidence through action. They understand that the only way to get better, to learn, to improve, to make progress, is to start before they feel ready. The solution is simple. The moment you decide to do something, count down from 5 and move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. No debate, no hesitation, no second guessing, just immediate action. This simple technique trains your brain to override fear, to bypass resistance, and to move before doubt has a chance to stop you. And here's what happens when you start doing this. Your brain rewires itself. The more you act immediately, the more natural it becomes. Instead of waiting and hesitating, you develop the habit of moving fast, making quick decisions, and executing without delay. And that is the key to long-term success. Because here's the truth. Action is a skill. Just like any other skill, the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. And once taking action becomes a habit, once moving quickly becomes automatic, you start achieving things that most people will never experience, simply because you are willing to do what they are not. Most people get stuck because they think they need motivation before they act. But motivation is not reliable. Some days it will be there. Most days it won't. And if you rely on it, you will always be inconsistent. But if you develop the habit of forcing yourself into action, regardless of how you feel, you will never need motivation again. You will move because that is who you are. Think about the last time you hesitated before doing something important. Maybe you wanted to start a business, but you spent weeks researching instead of executing. Maybe you wanted to get in shape, but you kept telling yourself you would start Monday. Maybe you wanted to make a big decision, but you analyzed every possible outcome until the opportunity passed. That is what hesitation does. It robs you of progress. But the good news is that hesitation is a habit. And like any habit, it can be broken. If you have spent years waiting, delaying, overthinking, you can start right now by training yourself to act immediately. The moment you decide something, move. The moment you feel resistance, push through it. The moment you start negotiating with yourself, end the debate and execute. And this is where most people fail. They think about change, they talk about change, but they never take immediate action to make it happen. Winners, on the other hand, do not think about whether they should move. They just do it. And because of that, they build the kind of momentum that leads to massive results. The fastest way to change your life is to change how quickly you take action. The shorter the gap between decision and movement, the faster you make progress. The faster you make progress, the more confidence you build. The more confidence you build, the more success you create. It is a chain reaction, but it all starts with that first move. And here's something most people never realize. Taking action consistently is more important than taking action perfectly. Most people wait because they are afraid of making mistakes. They want everything to be perfect before they start. But winners understand that progress beats perfection. They do not wait for the perfect plan. They take imperfect action and adjust along the way. This is why winners always seem to get ahead. They do not sit around thinking about what they should do. They act, they learn, they adjust, and they keep moving forward. And over time, those small actions compound into massive success. So if you are struggling to take action, if you find yourself hesitating, delaying, or overthinking, start training yourself right now. Start counting down from 5 and moving immediately. Start shortening the gap between thought and execution. Start acting before doubt can stop you. Because once you develop this skill, once you make immediate action a habit, nothing will ever be out of reach. The third step to forcing yourself to take